was how I felt about them for a long time. But what was the question that I asked myself is why? Because really, not to be like juvenile, but Bronze Age Pervert started it with me. This is how it all started. Me and him, I actually had him on my show. I said, come on my show. He sent Mike Ma, who designed the cover for Selective Breeding, and he does the graphic design for Steve Saylor's speaking tour, and Mike Ma's obviously in that world. He sent Mike Ma to read pre-written answers to my questions on the show. So, and I think that was the first interview that he did for Bronze Age Mindset when he came out with the book many years ago. So I used to associate with him, and I talked to him in DMs, and we were mutuals. Then, during the Groyper War 5 years ago, so in 2019, in the fall, I hosted a very small get-together. I mean, literally like 20 people, 25 people. And they were all friends of mine. And Bronze Age Pervert goes on Twitter and says, this is Charlottesville 2. Don't go. You're going to be doxxed. No one should go. Face bagging is, counterproductive to what we're trying to do. And I reached out privately, like everybody says to do. And I said, hey, man, I said, that's really not what we're doing. I said, it's 25 people. We all know each other. I said, are you going to take it back? And he goes, no, you shouldn't do it. And I said, well, you're a fucking liar then. I said, because here I am explaining to you what it is, and you're telling people not to go. And that's where it started. And, he's been amplifying a lot of bad faith attacks against me. If he wants to attack me for being Catholic, there's an intellectual disagreement between neoliberals and Catholics. Fine. But he's amplifying smears. So I asked and I'm not trying to ramble here, but I said, why is this guy coming after me? What's really going on? And so I started to peel back the layers, and he had already been doxxed. And we start talking about who he is. And it turns out, this guy goes to MIT, Columbia, Yale. And we start to see who he's connected with. He was at Columbia at the same time as Bari Weiss. She writes an article in Columbia Spectator in the end of 2004. He writes an identical essay for Columbia Spectator in early 2005 about Columbia unbecoming. People can look that up. It was a big controversy about pro-Palestine professors on the campus, and all the Israelis were trying to shut it down. And Bari Weiss was working for this group called the David Project. Then she goes to Israel to get trained up by Yoram Hazony to write op-eds. And then she writes under Bret Stephens. She's the protege of Bret Stephens.
Hey, Nick, you're...
Yeah.